Prologue. The Second Sun. August 1944. London does not sleep anymore. Sirens have become background noise. People don't run to shelters the way they used to. Fear has become routine. Routine has become survival. At 11:17 a.m., the sky changes. There is no warning whistle, no approaching aircraft, no rumble of engines, just light. A white, impossible light. For half a second, London becomes brighter than noon. Shadows burn themselves into brick walls. Glass liquefies mid-air. Steel twists like paper. Human beings evaporate before they can understand what is happening. Then the shockwave arrives, and the capital of the British Empire disappears. History fractures in that moment, because in this version of reality, the first nation to unlock the atom was Nazi Germany. Chapter 1. The project that could have been. In our timeline, the United States won the nuclear race through the Manhattan Project. But rewind to 1938. Nuclear fission is discovered in Germany. The theoretical groundwork for atomic energy and atomic destruction lies in the hands of German physicists. Germany had world-class scientists. Germany had early momentum. Germany had ambition. And it had Adolf Hitler. The Nazi nuclear effort, often called the Uranium Project, began before America's program fully mobilized. So why didn't Germany win? Because history is fragile. Because decisions matter. Because priorities shift. In reality, the Reich never fully committed the necessary industrial power to the bomb. But imagine a different decision. Imagine that in 1942, after early battlefield successes, Hitler makes a single order. Make this the priority above all. No more divided resources. No more underfunded research. No more hesitation. Every factory, every engineer, every ounce of uranium redirected. Failure becomes treason. Delay becomes sabotage. And speed becomes survival. Chapter 2. 1942. The point of divergence. In this alternate timeline, Germany doesn't overestimate how much fissile material is required. It doesn't stall reactor development. It doesn't dismiss the bomb as impractical. Instead, it accelerates. Forced labor expands uranium extraction. Occupied territories are stripped of material. Scientists work under surveillance, under pressure, under threat. By late 1943, Germany achieves sustained nuclear chain reaction. By early 1944, it conducts a successful weapons test in secrecy. A remote desert, a silent countdown, a flash brighter than the sun. The Third Reich now possesses something no empire in history has ever held: absolute destructive power. And no one else knows. Chapter 3. Why London? When you hold one bomb, maybe two, you do not waste them. You choose symbolism over strategy. You choose shock over numbers. London is not just a city, it is a message. Destroy the heart of the British Empire, and you shake the world psychologically. The V-2 rocket, already terrifying in reality, becomes the delivery system for something infinitely worse. When the first nuclear warhead detonates above London, the impact is not merely physical. It is civilizational. The British government fractures under pressure. Millions are displaced. The illusion of conventional war collapses, because no defense system can intercept the sun. Chapter 4. The global shockwave. The United States reacts instantly. The Manhattan Project, already underway, becomes the single most urgent priority in American history. Funding triples. Facilities expand overnight. Entire cities are constructed around laboratories. Scientists are relocated under military authority. The American objective becomes clear: catch up or face annihilation. Meanwhile, the Soviet Union calculates. If Moscow becomes the next target, command and industrial capacity could vanish in a single morning. Nuclear war changes strategy. No longer about fronts, no longer about territory, Now it becomes about survival. Chapter 5. The Second Strike, late 1944. Germany deploys a second device. This time, the target is Moscow. The explosion does not end the Soviet Union overnight. History shows that the USSR endured catastrophic losses and continued fighting. But command infrastructure is devastated. Industrial recovery slows. Coordination falters. The Red Army loses momentum at a critical moment. Germany gains something priceless: time. And in war, time is oxygen. Chapter 6. Nuclear blackmail. By 1945, Germany possesses several operational warheads. Not dozens, not hundreds, but enough. Enough to threaten Paris. Enough to threaten New York. Enough to threaten any city that resists. The war transforms. Instead of rapid collapse, Europe freezes under nuclear deterrence. The Reich fortifies its borders. Resistance movements are crushed with the threat of annihilation. The United States faces a terrible calculation: invade Europe and risk nuclear retaliation, or contain a nuclear Nazi superpower indefinitely. The Cold War begins, not between democracy and communism, but between democracy and fascism. Chapter 7. Would Hitler win? Here is the uncomfortable truth. Even with atomic weapons, long-term victory was not guaranteed. Germany's economy was strained. Logistics were fragile. Resistance movements would continue. The United States' industrial output was massive. Eventually, America would build its own bombs. Eventually, parity would emerge. But the cost of reaching parity would be catastrophic. More cities destroyed. More millions dead. More normalization of atomic warfare. Because when the first use of nuclear weapons comes from a genocidal regime, the moral ceiling collapses. The precedent changes everything. Chapter 8. A different 21st century. Imagine the world shaped by that beginning. Europe militarized for decades. Global diplomacy dominated by nuclear brinkmanship. International institutions weakened or never formed. Nuclear weapons used more than once, perhaps many times, before equilibrium stabilizes. Humanity adapts to annihilation as a bargaining tool. The psychological damage alone reshapes civilization. The atomic age would not begin with reluctant necessity. It would begin with ideological terror, and that difference would echo for generations. Epilogue: the fragility of history. In reality, Nazi Germany failed to build the bomb. Misjudgments, underinvestment, strategic mistakes. History hinged on those failures. The world we inherited is already shaped by unimaginable destruction, but it may have been the less catastrophic version. Because sometimes the most important question is not, who could have built the ultimate weapon first, but who would have used it, and how many times. History survived the narrowest of margins, and somewhere between physics, politics, and human error, the world avoided its darkest possible dawn.